Catching up, like I love Hambino, and I love Hambino. I've cast him for a whole long time across a bunch of events. it's nothing against him. It's just the fact that whenever you have people that you play with for I don't know forever,
and then years at this point,
and then you switch in somebody new, there's gonna be a little bit of a difference in playstyle. For all we know, it might be phenomenal, and we'll have to see how it plays out. But that said, for everybody else in this lobby, this is your opportunity, and can you grasp it?
Yeah, it's not exactly a wounded Sonics because they are still in first place, but
Sonics.
It's the closest we're gonna get, I feel like, with all four running in a PCS. But we'll look more at that tomorrow. We still have one more game here with Atrin. We have one more game to see if they can't take a stronger lead or if they actually give that up for someone else to take the lead.
Pretty standard playing path, pretty standard circle as well, as nothing too crazy coming through.
Adapter just setting up a trap. Show is completely unspotted, and it's a surround on Young Kings.
Oh, keeping a slow, patient eye onto this and one. Now gets spotted out, finally takes the shots into what's going on. So with this can now regroup with the rest of the team. This high ground vantage point that they have to work from now with information as well. Light Show being able to come up right back behind them, and you can see Young Kings just caught completely unaware. They don't know where to go, and Light Show is popping off for his squad right now. Just moving forward, just Swagger, the last one up for Young Kings, and he has to drop down to his belly as there is nowhere to go. The new circle has popped, and so with this, we are going to be moving into that area that's going to be southwest of Graveyard.
Yeah, really good take here by Adapt onto Young Kings, but they're going to have to wrap it up really fast. And BT also want to come in and third party this. Suddenly they're fighting on multiple fronts. Retaliate has been knocked. William's been fully confirmed. So it looked really good for Adapt. Has now all fallen away from them. And now it's Black Tigers in position to take control of this area. But again, all of these teams need to make their way into the circle.
I got to follow up with what Godspeed was talking about. Black Tiger has done a lot of research moving in, and they are a different team than we saw last week. These guys are understanding how to navigate the circle and constantly finding more and more successes. It feels like they're constantly evolving game by game, and that's what you want to see out of a team like this.
Their biggest strength in the group stage was playing around the edge and taking control of their particular quadrant before focusing in the late game towards the center of the circle, and they're going to attempt to do just that once again. It's just this rotation for them to get down from this high ground that's going to be the most brutal, but the 5-team Digital House and Synergy is finally popping off.
Well, it's not just them. I mean, we've got E United over here. We've got 300. There's about to be a lot that's happening around this point. The last member for Synergy is still just trying to survive right now. Black Tigers now sending their way through. Gas cans just right up in front of them, and everybody just trying to make it into the safe zone. While this is happening, Oath has a firing line, and Systematicos has a firing line on what's going on. Just trying to make sure that they get whatever kills they can, but Letty's going to go down. They stop in the wrong point. There are too many people that have vision on what's happening, so now Black Tiger has to make some type of choice on where they're going to sit it, and it looks like they're just going to run right into where Gas Cans is, trying to see if maybe they can go for a spray as they're running through. Does manage to flush out one of them, but it is a very weakened Black Tigers that know that they are in a lot of trouble. Hikerman does go down off his shots coming out from Oath, so Gas Can's now down to near on nothing, and oh, the kneecap gets spotted out, and Gas Cans goes out.
Kraken, the last one from Black Tigers, trying to push in, the only one in a solo vehicle. And now KF9 also is getting approached because Oath, I think they spotted him. Yep, figured him out. So now KF9 is taken out. It is just Kraken remaining, not even in the circle. Oath knew the teams on the high ground were going to have to come in their direction, and they were waiting, salivating for the kills to come their way.
What's going on, Black Tiger? I love Kraken. You can see the fact that they're realizing, okay, we don't have too much more we can do, but maybe we can at least get some kills, something out of this one. Mime says, nope, that was a side angle that I don't think that he was quite expecting yet. Circle is about to condense down and show us where we're going to go. But I gotta say, if you're a Fuma fan, you're feeling pretty good. Yep, Circle does pop that direction. Sonic's now having to move. E United, everybody to the south is gonna have to move. SSG that we were just looking at a second ago, but TSM still sitting on those two members. This is the commitment play coming up. It's going to be Los leading the way. Corsac right back behind it, trying to make sure that they dodge as they go. Tiggleton harassing at range, but there you go. It's going to be Vox that gets taken down. Extreme now has to be very careful. A ton of targets coming up over the angle, but there's just too many. He can't manage to handle them all as they come through. It's going to be E United going ahead and getting that first. A little bit of a foothold. Vox now down, and you can see Leda at less than half life has to step away. Now, as we see everything starting to shift a little bit further towards the north as far as the circle goes, there's very limited options. Grenades lands right on top of Leda, and then there was one left up for 300, but near on nowhere to go. His options are looking at E United, SSG, or Sonics.
United 4 up, heading into the late game. This might be the moment that their fans have all been waiting for. If they can just remove Neferhor without getting capped by SG. But I think Neferhor is going to stay alive for now. The big question is, how safely can they move into the circle? SCS has been removed. We're looking at 9 teams. About half of them looking pretty healthy, but a half of them very low on numbers.
Now, Sonics have to make a little bit of their commitment in. Neferhor has been spotted. Very minimal options to work with, and there you go. It's going to be Waldo to go ahead and finish it out, and here we go. Now, also Sonics getting vision on that low ground point that we saw Wildcard at just a second ago, while United has a high ground vision on where they're at.
Oh, good damage coming back from Shrimzy to try and defend Tiggleton. United trying to work the high ground as much as they can for as long as it's lasting, but they're barely inside the circle, if in at all. Luke's been spotted out. He's been taken care of. It is just Alo remaining by TSM in the center.
I mean, Oath doesn't have any targets they really have to contend with. It's all about what's going on to the south. Waldo does manage to stop and get the shot into Zray, so he's going to go down. Sonics doesn't want to overextend based off of where EU United's positioning is at, but we do have Valiant and Waldo that are trying to creep away just a little bit closer to where we can see that HWin and Mime are playing at the time. Troglodytes also have themselves a high ground point, harassing teams as they see any movement, but they've got their eyes really focused in on what's going on with EU United. SSG also has vision on them as well, and it is just starting to be a problem for anywhere that EU United wants to move.
They got to deal more damage to Sonics than this if they want to find their way into the low ground. And Exex is here to third party from the southeast edge.
Wildcard can't do too much in what's happening right now. SSG is pretty close. The circle pops, and Halo is very close to center, as well as Troglodytes being in play. But that's going to be a quick pickup coming up from Sonics that gets more control over the west, but now also provides a little bit of an angle for EU United to work with.
Sonics taking over this area. There's a little fight on the north side between Oath and Fiumba, but right now we're still looking at Los, who got revived, and the rest of United to try and work something from the circle. With a shift like this, I think they can swing to the east side, but right when I say that, Corsac gets taken upon by multiple teams, so now United are officially down to 2, just Los and Valiate.
It's a matter of time. There's nowhere to go. Everybody has a vision on what they're trying to do. Every team seems to know exactly where they're at. They managed to get up to 7 kills. They're going to have to make sure that they harass anybody around them. They could potentially retreat back to the east, but that's going to be the position that Troglodytes is already holding down, and we were talking about their high ground advantage that they had a little while ago.
Valley got a knock, but with all 4 members of SSG in that one position, that one knock wasn't enough to find an opening to push in. Can't do the damage to the Sonics either. Novel try, but United going to go out in 7th place. 6 teams remain.
All right, you guys were all bullying EU United. Which way are you going to look now? As Sonics are going to have to make a move of their own. Fiumba did step out of their position that they were wanting to play, but it's going to be Oath that does manage to hold the lineup very well and kind of scare them away from making the approach into this. While this is all going on, SSG finally realizes they have an opportunity, steps up, moves into Sonic's positioning, and now we have HWin and Shrimzy both down. Now add Tiggleton to that as well. Mime, the last one up.
Both teams needed to make their way from the west side into the circle, ran across each other as expected, and it's looking pretty good for SSG. They've lost a couple of players. I don't know if Sharp's going to be in a position to get revived, and it's all on to Mime. If there's one player to clutch it out, this is the one that you want. But in the blue, there's not a lot for him to work with, and that's, I think, going to be it for the Sonics. They are out. We're looking at our top 4 teams remaining because Alo also got removed.
Now, we are down in the tail end of everything. It's going to be hurting the circle, pushing everybody into this centralized point. Oath, Fiumba right next to each other at the time. Meanwhile, SSG, Troglodytes also right next to each other. So it's going to be about the maneuver as everybody tries to make their way forward. Fiumba does have the high ground advantage, but steps right into a grenade. That is going to be big for them if Fiumba goes down. Oath now has control. They're going to go ahead and use an opted position, bringing a vehicle with them to buy more cover.
Immediately they are taking center. Once Fiumba got taken out by some great utility usage, they are trying to maintain control. Now SSG are pushing onto the high ground, but a great grenade by Exex is going to remove them out. Car goes up, but Troglodytes are still in this 3 versus 4. Will the high ground be worthwhile, or will Oath center position with the gunfire that we know this team have? Will that not let Troglodytes into the end game?
Kill Demo trying to eye the side where we've got Snakers lined up. A 4v3 position. Utility is starting to come out. That means the fact that we know the push is coming soon. Blue Zone coming in right back behind Troglodytes. They know that they don't have too much time to work with. Oath does have that center point you were talking about just a second ago, Cam, but it's all about trying to navigate this. And again, another huge grenade popping off for Oath. This is going to be Kickstart just dropping it right on top of him. But on the other side of that, Kill Demo managed to take down Snakers. Kickstart's on fire right now, having to drop down near on no cover to work with. Two members from Troglodytes hard peeking across the top of it, trying to see if they can get more, and Exex does manage to take down Relo.
He's evening it up. Exex is able to even it up while the revive comes in onto Rusty Zera.
It's back and forth. They're just trying to get the reses in between the two of them. Kickstar's trying to defend up. Has to be very careful, navigating away from the grenade as they moves forward into this. It's all onto him to protect his teammates. He spots out what's going on, but there's just too many members. He goes down. Reload does get rezzed at the exact same second. Balefrost has to be very, very careful as they make their way through this one. Reload on near on no life. It's a big battle across this one, and it's going to be Troglodytes lines it up, and they manage to take down everything. But no, wait, what? How did he hit that?
I don't know.
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours.